Good morning, Grenada. It's your boy Troy Gill with fitness professional Chris Williams, who's going to lead us into a workout again. Of course, you know how we do it, to get your heart pumping, get your blood flowing, get you ready to start your day, and of course, a little taste of what you can expect as part of Fitness Revolution 10. So don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Turbulent, powerful, explosive. Are you ready for the storm? Fitness Revolution 10. The storm is coming. July 10th to August 3rd, 2023. Fitness Revolution 10. The storm is coming.
Promoters, here is a chance to boost your event or fete with MTV's irresistible television advertising specials. Book now and be wowed with party deals and good advertising coverage. Call our sales and marketing department on 440-8171 or via WhatsApp on 455-5718. You can also send an email at mtvmarketinggd@gmail.com. Terms and conditions apply.
In our part of the world, we need to be prepared for natural disasters like storms and hurricanes, even outside of the season. I'm sure you'll agree that keeping our loved ones, homes, and businesses safe is important. So, I came up with a few quick tips to help you stay safe. First, make a family disaster plan and ensure that everyone in your household is familiar and comfortable with it. Remember to add batteries and flashlights to your emergency kit. Don't be caught off guard by natural disasters. Prepare now. For more information, visit grenlec.com.
All right, so good morning. Nice to have you again with us for Rise and Shine. I hope you guys are ready. We're going to get into our little full body workout. If you have a chair, I would like for you to get the chair, bring it, keep it on the side because we're going to be using the chair to do some full body exercises. So if you're ready, you have your water, you've hydrated, we're going to get right into it. So we're right here. Four, three, two, one. Bring it back up right here. Forward again. Four more. 4, 3, 2, 1. To the side again. Pull. 4 more. 4, 3, 2. Get the legs involved. 4 more. 4, 3, 2, 1. Right here again. One more time. Come on. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring to the side. 4, 3, 2. Get the legs. 4 more. 3, 2, 1. Push. Push. Right here. 4, 3, 2, 1. We want to move to the side. Tap that foot. So you're going to tap it behind. Tap. Pull the hands down. Tap. Tap. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it back to the center right here. Push. 4, 3, 2, 1. Extend it, but I want you lower this time. Right there. 4, 3, 2, 1. Legs. Pull our legs in. Leg curl right here. Now punch. Throw that arm out, curl that leg right there. 4, 3, 2, 1. Back low right here. Push the hands up. So you're straight up the center right here. Working our shoulders. Now we're going to move from side to side. Right to left. Throw those hands up. Come on. 4, 3, 2, 1. Push. Straight up the middle. 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to speed it up. You're alternating hands, reaching. Right here. You can get your hips involved. Right here. 4, 3, 2, 1. Some arm circles. So we want to warm up those shoulders. So we're going forward. Now we're going to go backwards. 4, 3, 2, 1. Tap that leg. So right now you're standing tall. You're just tapping that leg there. Right. 4, 3. I want you to make it nice. I want you to bring it from the shoulders. We're gonna go lower. Now, behind. That's right. Tap it, come on. 4, 3, 2, 1. Right here. Roll it off your shoulder. 4, 3, 2, 1. Next side. 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going up and down with those hands. So you're hitting high, hitting low. 4, 3, 2, 1. Stay right here. Back and forth with the arms. 4, 3, 2, 1. Next side. Up and down. 4, 3, 2, 1. Get low. Bring that arm around. 4, 3, 2, 1 to the front. Right here. Bring it up tall. Cross your hands. Right here. 4, 3, 2, 1. March it out for me. Take this opportunity to take some water and hydrate. If you have your chair ready, bring your chair. So what you're gonna do for me, you're gonna sit on your chair. And you're just marching from a seated position. 4, 3, 2, 1. Get your hands down, hold the chair, bounce your legs. What you want to do, you want to pull it all the way up and squeeze your stomach. 4, 3, 2, 1. You're going to come off, you're going to keep your arms straight, and you're just going to kick that leg up. Straight up. That's right. 4, 3, 2, 1. Cross. Cross it. Nice. 4, 3, 2, 1. Now bounce. Right there. 4, 3, 2, 1. We going side to side. Side to side. 4, 3, 2, 1. 4 more. 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back to that seated position. March that foot again. Let's go. 4, 3, 2, 1. We're gonna reach. Try to get those toes. Touch those toes. Come on. You don't want it right here. You don't want it low. You want to bring it up as high as you can get it. Nice. Doesn't have to be as high as me, but you want to make it work. You want to feel it. 4, 3, 2, 1. Knees. Drive those knees up. Pull our hands down. Come on. Let's go. 4, 3, 2, 1. Touch those heels. Bring your hands up high. And touch that heel. Pull that heel up. 4, 3, 2, 1. Come to your feet. So you're facing this way. 4, 3, 2, 1. Take your foot, put your foot up on the chair. So you're right here, you bring your legs out, you reach, down, reach. So you're reaching like you're trying to go down to that ankle. You just want to twist that body. Right there. 4, 3, 2, 1. March it around to the next side. 4, 3, 2, 1. Place your foot up. Again, reach. reach. Right, you got this, come on. Let's go, 4 more. 4, 3, 2, 1. March it again, bring it back. We're gonna sit down right here. So you can just bring your legs, praying hands, in and out. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the legs wide. Place your hands on your legs. Take a deep breath and bring it down. Bring it back up, deep breath, and down. Up again, and down. One more time. Down. Now, turn your shoulder. 4, 3, 2, 1. Next side. 3, 2, 1. Again. 4, 3, 2, 1. Next side. 4, 3, 2, 1. Legs wider. Bring your arms all the way down to the ground. Bounce. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it over to the right. Hold it. 4, 3, 2, 1. You go to the next side. 4, 3, 2, 1. So we're gonna cross that leg right here. You're gonna take your hand. You're gonna press down against your knee, and you're gonna pull up on your leg. We're stretching out that hip. 4, 3, 2, 1. We're gonna switch sides. Again, while you're stretching, you should be breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. 4, 3, 2, 1. Come to your feet. If you need to hold on to your chair, you can hold on to your chair for balance. We're gonna stretch out the quad. What you wanna do is push your hips forward. 4, 3, 2, 1. We go to the next side. Again, bring it up. 4, 3, 2, 1. Legs wide. We're gonna go all the way up. Deep breath again. Come on. And bring it down. One more time up. And down. Going up again. Deep breaths. One more time, and we're gonna hold it up. Turn your hands, reach all the way up, lean back, stretch out that back. Open arms wide. Woo, thank God for life. Bring it back up. We're gonna come down hard in 4, 3, 2, and we're coming down. Good job. Again, thank you very much for joining us this morning. Hope to see you guys at Fitness Revolution 10. Have a great day. Stay blessed.
Turbulent, powerful, explosive. Are you ready for the storm? Fitness Revolution 10. The storm is coming. July 10th to August 3rd, 2023. Fitness Revolution 10. The storm is coming.
I'm Tony Julian with the details. The Public Workers Union PWU on Thursday signed to what they consider big-ticket items with the government of Grenada. Keyshawn Thomas has the details in this report.
Both parties during the ceremony signed a collective agreement for wage increases and fringe benefits for the period January 1st, 2023 to December 31st, 2025. President of the PWU, Brian Grimes, says this cycle of negotiations were groundbreaking.
This package has in it a clause stating contract workers will get the increases, even fixed-term contract workers. This is monumental. This is groundbreaking. In the past, we have had very, very serious battles with the past administration in terms of members of our bargaining unit being left out in terms of their ability to secure increases.
He also went on to speak of some of the benefits to be received by nurses and doctors.
Nurses and doctors will be able to get free medicine, right? And this is something, like I stated, they have been clamoring for years. So now it has become a reality. It has come to fruition. Very, very important, and this one is very dear to me, the ex gratia. Unestablished workers are going home at times with minuscule, sometimes embarrassingly low monthly payments after they would have retired. One something, whatever it is, 300 if some are lucky. But now The Grenada Public Workers Union have negotiated with government, and government have agreed that the minimum unestablished workers will go home with, the minimum, the bare minimum will be $500. It is a step in the right direction.
Health insurance is another one of the big ticket items that the PW was able to agree upon.
This government has agreed to pay in terms of our health insurance, because we have a medical health insurance with Sagico, 55%, and the members will pay 45%. This is significant. In the past, the government used to pay 50%. They are now paying 55%. But apart from that, there were changes that had to take place with the plan, amendments to increase the schedule of benefits, and we were not getting that traction in terms of cooperation in the past. But now we have a situation, a positive situation, where government say, listen, health insurance is not a luxury, it's basically a need, and we're going to make it affordable for the member.
Prime Minister Deacon Mitchell also attended the signing and said he was pleased with the outcome.
The Public Workers Union represents the single largest group of employees who work for the state of Grenada, and so it is obviously quite important to ensure that we have common understanding on fringe benefits, salaries, prospectively and not retrospectively, because I think it allows for predictability, certainty, and it allows us to tackle some of the other very challenging issues that remain to be tackled.
Keishon Thomas, MTV News.
The official launching of Spice Mass has brought with it an eagerness for party lovers to be entertained, and as such, promoters have of course been staging several events. During this time of year, community social gatherings with amplified sound also become prominent. However, those wishing to host such events may have to get the appropriate permission. Members of the Royal Grenada Police Force have been discussing the Noise Control Act that was created back in 2006. And as we hear in this report, under the Act, noise is defined as any sound including vibration that becomes excessive.
The Noise Control Act of 2006 outlined procedures, expectations and conditions in applying for and operating loudspeakers or amplified musical instruments. Corporal Shawin Noel of the Royal Grenada Police Force, attached to the Community Relations Department, spoke of what sort of noise permits is needed to host social gatherings and events.
In the case of a party, as you say, you would have to apply to the Commissioner of Police, and that would be like you want to use a loudspeaker or a musical instrument. So take for instance the DJs, a church wishing to host a crusade in a community, because you have to consider also that you want to be on the lawful side and you want to take measures that could reduce the impact of the noise, or somebody who is in the community that might be affected by the noise may have early notice so they can make alternative arrangement. So that is the two types of noise permits that are issued. One is in relation to construction work and the other in relation to a loudspeaker or musical instrument.
Corporal Noel says permits issued, however, has conditions attached.
In the case of the permit issued from the Commissioner of Police, now firstly it would have your information on it. So the Commissioner would want to know the name of the person applying for the permit.
Okay.
Right? On whose behalf? The date of the operation. So the date you intend to have this event. The hours of operation. We need to know, what is your intended hours. If you are going to go beyond, 9 in the night, beyond 11, what time you intend to have this event.
Officer in charge of the Community Relations Department, Assistant Superintendent of Police Simon Douglas, highlighted who can be exempted from the Noise Control Act.
The police, fire brigade, ambulance and other emergency vehicles are not controlled by this act.
Okay.
So for example, the use of the siren. Okay. For the purpose of communicating with persons on a vessel, right, that is not. So a loudspeaker also on a vessel is not controlled.
MTV News, Vanessa Pancho.
Meanwhile, ASP Simon Douglas, in charge of the Community Relations Department, highlighted the penalties of the Noise Control Act. He said that not only can a person be fined for not adhering to the law, but that they can also face imprisonment for up to 6 months, and the sound system can be confiscated.
For a first offense, is liable to a fine of $250.
Okay.
All right. In the case of a second offense, a fine not exceeding $500 or to imprisonment for 6 months. A third offense, a fine not exceeding $1,000 and imprisonment for 9 months. When you get to offense number 4, the law is saying that you are taking this thing for, as we say, a puppy show.
Right.
So we're not going to charge you any fine anymore. We're going to send you straight to prison. And one of the things that that operators need to understand, not only can you be charged, but your equipment can be forfeited. So if the police comes into your premises in circumstances where you are unreasonably and unlawfully making noise, and let's speak specifically to playing music, for example.
Okay.
And you're told that you're going to be reported, you're going to be charged for an offense. The police can then confiscate your equipment, the musical instruments, the speakers, whether you're using a computer, your turntable, whatever it is you're using as part of that musical system can be confiscated.
Von Cyrus, 27-year-old businessman residing on the Carenage in St. George's, who was charged with the offenses of attempt to commit non-capital murder, possession of a firearm, possession of ammunition, unlawfully discharging a firearm, and 2 counts of damage to property, appeared at the St. George's Magistrates Court on Tuesday and was remanded until the 18th of July. The charges were laid against Mr. Cyrus following investigations into a shooting incident which occurred at Grand Anse in Montoutte on the 7th of February this year. Well, according to police, there are other ongoing investigations into Cyrus following reports of a similar nature. He's being represented by attorney Peter David. The new National Party, NNP, is giving itself a pat on the back for what it says was visible growth and development initiated while in government. The opposition party held a press conference on Tuesday, citing a number of issues that the government is failing to address.
Government is a continuity, or continuum, as they said. So if we talk about growth in construction, that started under NNP. Key for that, growth in the private sector, but also the government did its part. But what we're seeing today, in terms of whatever construction has been accomplished in the past year or is ongoing, is because of, thank God, for NNP, who started those projects. That's why we still continue to see growth in the construction sector.
That was Parliamentary Representative Honorable Dr. Clarice Modeste Cohen speaking at the recently held press conference by the new National Party. She also took the opportunity to address the situations within the schools as it relates to proper training for cooks.
I know under the new National Party there were training programs. There were training programs for the cooks to educate them as to how to prepare diets for the children. And we also have to engage the vendors, because to just send the vendors home with no hope doesn't make sense either. But maybe some training for them, let them know what will be acceptable to be sold in the school grounds.
The topic of debushing and the farm labor programs were also addressed during the press conference by Oliver Joseph.
Thousands of people were given jobs so that they can buy the school uniform and books and send the children to school. And that was the purpose, to assist these people. Remember, these people have no jobs, So they look forward to the debushing program, the farm labor program, and other programs that the government had to assist them to receive this income. So we are very concerned. When you look around the road now, the bush, because the rainy season starts, Soon as the rainy season starts, you see the bush coming all and covering the road. And so in order to maintain the environment and provide jobs for these people, we would provide, we have the bushing program. It was called by some nice name. I don't know, I have 2 members of parliament here. I don't know if they remember the name they give it. The best program. And because all they're doing is giving names.
Reporting for MTV News, I am Donella Hosten.
Despite the many criticisms from the previous administration, the Deacon Mitchell-led administration says that it continues to boast about the strides that they have made within the first year. Speaking on the Government Information Service of Grenada about health care and some of what has happened and also plans that are being put in place to ensure that health care is improved, was Minister for Health, Jonathan Lacrette. We get more details in this report.
We were able to launch the District 1 Primary Healthcare team and also the Wellness Council. We amalgamated St. John and St. Mark and we categorize it as District 1 because they're close in proximity as it relates to geographical location. And a number of members on that team were present. And we were able to successfully launch the team, and I'm looking forward to working with District 1 team. I believe that we're going to St. David next to form the District Wellness Council in St. David and Primary Healthcare team. So we are extremely happy about that. Every team is going to have their specific guidelines and their deliverables as to how they work and operationalize their functions in the community. That has been in the pipeline since we came into office. Maybe about 3 months coming into office, we started to speak primary healthcare because we understand that before you can even talk construction of a brand new hospital, there are some things you must get right at the bottom of the pyramid.
Health Minister Jonathan Lacrette speaking on this current administration's plans to continue its ongoing work to improve primary health care in Grenada. The minister also spoke about how they intend to handle migration of nurses.
I think that government has been extremely resolute about the value that we place in our clinicians at this particular point in time, and that's both medical doctors as well as our nurses. We must understand, however, that before we can even begin to have a conversation with the non-nurses in the conversation, I want us to be able to first and foremost look at remuneration for nurses, regularization for nurses, compensation packages, because these are some of the conversations that they have been having with us in some of the brief consultations we've had with nurses across the entire sector.
He said the $500 honorarium was just a small token to let workers know they are appreciated in the meantime.
And that is why we moved to ensure that the $500 honorarium is our way of saying that we value you. Fiscally, we cannot go beyond that at that particular point in time, but just give us 1 year so that we can regularize the nurses under Gren Case and regularize the nurses who are in the public service, put them on permanent establishment, etc. See how we can come up with compensation packages for them that are lucrative so that our nurses will even feel a greater sense of value being placed in them from the policymakers' perspective.
Reporting for MTV News, I am Donella Hosten.
Regional leaders, including the Minister responsibility for the Ministry of Agriculture and Lands, Fisheries and Cooperatives, Adrian Thomas, met this week to present and advance updates on the plan within the framework of the 2030 agenda of the Community of Latin American and Caribbean States, CELAC. The meeting for agriculture ministers and other stakeholders was held at Arthur Chung Center in Ghana on Tuesday. It sought to promote an increase in regional trade, economic development, and further economic cooperation among members to defend their growing economies against a backdrop of challenges such as the COVID-19 pandemic and the war in Ukraine.
On Magic FM and on our social media platform. Those of you joining us, we say good morning to you. Whatever you're doing today, we hope you have a productive day. We have a lot to share this morning. Yep, so we want you to stick and stay. We don't want you to go anywhere, so you can get in the know what's happening. Today, we're going to be talking to a representative, the public relations officer of Spice Mass Corporation, and we also going to be having other discussions and so on. You know, Spice Mass, you want to know what's taking place behind the scenes, preparations and so on. You've heard from the Queens on Tuesday. Well, not the Queens, but one of the organizers of the Queen Show. So we're going to see what's happening with the other elements of Spice Mass. But in the meantime, we know this is a time where you want to know what the public focus is, just to make sure that you prepare for whatever it is. So let's join our friends down at the Met Office. Good morning to you.
Good morning to you and good morning to listeners. Here is the weather for today, Thursday, 29th June 2023. Currently at the airport, conditions are fair and slightly hazy. Winds are from the east at 13 miles per hour. Pressure 14.5 millibars, which is above normal and rising. Present temperature 26.5 degrees Celsius, relative humidity 92%. Yesterday's maximum temperature was 30.2 degrees Celsius, minimum temperature last night 25.8 degrees Celsius. Over the past 24 hours, there was 3.1 millimeters of rainfall at the airport, which brings the total for the month to 174.6 millimeters. Looking at the public forecast valid for today and tonight, the weather is expected to be mostly fair, windy, and slightly hazy, with few partly cloudy spells accompanied by brief isolated showers. Today's maximum temperature 31.0 degrees Celsius. Winds easterly to east-southeasterly at 15 to 25 miles per hour. Seas moderate, waves 4 to 6 feet in open waters. Tides are currently rising and will be high at 11:45 a.m., low at 5:45 p.m. Sunset today, 6:36, sunrise tomorrow, 5:47. Again, the weather is expected to be mostly fair, windy, and slightly hazy, with few partly cloudy spells accompanied by brief isolated showers. From the Met Office, I am Kessia Johnson.
All right, thank you, Ms. Johnson, and that was the public forecast for this morning. We're not sticking and staying, we're going with pace this morning, because we know you have a lot of things to do, but nonetheless, we just want to make sure that we keep you in the know. So this morning, we always give you a word of the day. So let's find out this morning what today's word for today is.
Hello everyone, my name is Micaiah Alexander and I'm a 6th grade student of First Choice Junior School. The word of the day is reconcile, R-E-C-O-N-C-I-L-E. Reconcile means to bring into agreement or harmony. Now, I will give you the word in a sentence. There were many things about him she couldn't reconcile.
All right, so that was the word of the day as presented by Micaiah Alexander of First Choice, and the word for today is reconcile. So whatever you're probably doing, see how you could fit in the word reconcile. So if you have to reconcile your friendship or whatever it is, but that's the word for today. We're not sticking any further. Right, so we know these days it's raining a lot, so we want to make sure that we keep you safe, or we try to share tips with you that would keep you safe. So this is our emergency tips for this morning. Driving in the rain safety tip. So here are the tips. Drive slowly, turn lights on, brake earlier and keep safe distance. Give other drivers space, avoid distractions and sudden motions. Look out for pedestrians. So that's the emergency tip. I'll just repeat it again for you. Drive slowly. So when it's raining, that's some of the things that you need to practice. Drive slowly, turn lights on, brake earlier and keep safe distance, give other drivers space, avoid distractions and sudden motions, and look out for pedestrians. Right? So these were your emergency tips for driving in the rain. Right, so before we get into our first discussion this morning, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back.
4th edition of Hubbard's Live Free for 1 year promotion. Cuatro Punto Cero. It's unbelievably amazing. You can win free fuel, free drinks, cash prizes, free property and vehicular insurance, free cable, TV and internet, free electricity, free coke, free water, free cooking gas, free paint supplies, free passes to Sunshine Promotion events for 2023, free groceries, all for 1 whole year. And every winner receives a lunch package. Be sure to fill out the entry forms and enter it into the marked entry boxes at all Hubbard's departments and at participating outlets. Promotion runs from April 1st to September 30th, 2023. Draws will be held every 2 weeks. Terms and conditions apply.
In our part of the world, we need to be prepared for natural disasters like storms and hurricanes, even outside of the season. I'm sure you'll agree that keeping our loved ones, homes, and businesses safe is important. So, I came up with a few quick tips to help you stay safe. First, make a family disaster plan and ensure that everyone in your household is familiar and comfortable with it. Remember to add batteries and flashlights to your emergency kit. Don't be caught off guard by natural disasters. Prepare now. For more information, visit grenlec.com.
Promoters, here is a chance to boost your event or fete with MTV's irresistible television advertising specials. Book now and be wowed with party deals and good advertising coverage. Call our sales and marketing department on 440-8171 or via WhatsApp on 455-5718. You can also send an email at mtvmarketinggd@gmail.com. Terms and conditions apply.
The owner of Mindy is seeking the support in finding her. Mindy has a pink collar and was last seen in Bayview Drive for Judy. She is microchipped and has a green tattoo from spading under her tummy. A reward is being offered for anyone who has information on Mindy's whereabouts. You can contact 406-6525 or 538-4085.
Welcome back. You're watching Rise and Shine live on MTV, also on VOG. Why am I saying VOG this morning? Like my mind is going back into history. All right, and Magic FM, of course. And, of course, those of you on our Facebook social media platform, we say good morning to you in case you're just joining us. Well, you haven't missed much. But we're getting into our chit-chat session this morning. And this morning I have with me Alicia Mason. She's a consumer of public affairs, and that is consumer Public Affairs Officer of the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission. You've probably been hearing about them, but probably don't know what their functions are. So we're going to learn about who are they, what are their functions, so you can kind of get a little bit in the know. All right, good morning to you, Alicia. How are you doing this morning?
Good morning, Kishan. I am doing wonderful this rainy morning, yes.
All right, excellent. So first of all, tell us, what is the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission?
All right, before I go on though, let me just say good morning to all the listeners and viewers of the program. And I am happy to be here as the Consumer and Public Affairs Officer of the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission. As you mentioned, a lot of people might have heard about us, but not too sure exactly who we are and why we exist. The Public Utilities Regulatory Commission, or you might just hear me say the Commission, or PURC as we are sometimes called, came into being by an Act of Parliament number 20 of 2016. We actually opened our doors in 2019, and then of course you had COVID, so operations would have been affected in some ways. But our main purpose of the Commission is to, one, promote and educate the public on the use of renewable sources of energy. So you would hear a lot about that. You would hear how what role we actually play in that regard. We are also here to, as the Act says, to set and initiate and conduct reviews of tariff, that's rates, that's charged by Grenlec. We regulate the electricity sector, public utilities within the electricity sector. So it's only Grenlec that we have at the moment. In time, we should have like NOWASA to come on board. We have NTRC, who does with the public utilities of the telecommunication side. So some people would ask, are we, are we regulating flow and line? But that comes under the NTRC. We deal with public utilities on the other side. And it is our role to ensure that Grenadians have fair and reasonable services from the utility provider, which is Grenlec. We are also here to make recommendations to the minister, who is the Honorable Dickon Mitchell, who's responsible for our portfolio, where we make recommendations to him in terms of the people who make applications for license for whether it's self-generation of solar systems, or whether it is that they want to become an independent power producer. I would speak a little bit more about these programs, but that's our role, to make recommendations. We also here to ensure that Grenlec is able to remain in business as a profitable entity. So we're not here to, as I say, regulate Grenlec and punish them, but our responsibility is to ensure that Grenlec remains a profitable entity, that it can survive, and also that Grenadians could expect to get fair and reasonable services from Grenlec. One of the main focus of the commission also is to hear and resolve issues that may arise from customers with Grenlec. A lot of people are unaware of that, and that is because, one, the process is that if you have an issue with Grenlec and the issue is not resolved, and you've gone through all the layers with Grenlec, where you are still unable to get a resolve at the end, that is when you come to the PURC, so that we become the mediator of the issue and see if we can find a resolve. It may not always be that the resolve goes in your way. However, it is our role and responsibility to be that last resort mediator to see how we can get a resolve between you and Grenlec. So these are the main functions of the commission. And as I said, we have been in existence since 2019. However, because we recognize that a lot of Grenadians might have just heard about us, or if they've heard about us, they do not know what we do. We are here to sensitize the public, so we can get more people, one, coming into the commission to register for solar systems. We could also get more people who seem, or who may have thought that there's no other hope if they have an issue with the public utility provider, that they can come to us.
Okay, so with all that has been said, one might ask, how can, in terms of the customer complaint procedure to the commission, how does that actually work? For someone in the public who thinks, well, okay, you know what, I need to make a complaint, tell us about the procedures.
All right, so you, Kishan, you have an issue with Grenlec. And let's say you believe that they've been overbilling. I'm just using a simple example. So you went to Grenlec, you asked them why, and they've given you all the reasons, and yet you feel that their reasons are not providing you with sufficient information to justify that, yes, this is what it is. So then you would come to us. We would go through the process. One, you would need to give us all your background data in terms of your personal information. You would also need to give us, obviously, readings, your communications with Grenlec, because we expect that you would have gone through the layers with Grenlec, and not just you looking at your bill today and say, you know what, Tishan, my bill is too much. I ain't had time with Grenlec. I feel Grenlec is overcharging me. I'm going to the commission. No. You would have gone through the process with Grenlec, and they said, no, we're not, we're standing on our position, and you come to PERC. So at the commission, there is a form that you must fill. So you basically give us your details as to what is your complaint. We capture as much information on that, who you would have spoken to at Grenlec, whatever information that could help us have a background for you. And then you have to sign off on that form, because legally we do not have the right, if you want to put, to go to Grenlec to ask for the complaint or the issue to be investigated if we do not have your signing off on it, because ultimately it is a legal document. So once you sign up on that, then we reach out to GrenLec to say, okay, Kishan has an issue with so-and-so. Can you please provide us with the relevant data regarding this issue? They would come back to us. We would, look at the information, see whether or not what GrenLec says is making sense or isn't making sense, get back to you to let you know, okay, Kishan, the information that we received from GrenLec justifies that, yes, this is what it is. Or it is that, no, after the information has been received from GrenLec, we say to GrenLec, well, something is missing here or the other. And then eventually we're able to tell you, Kishan, yes, after communications with GrenLec and the investigation, we've recognized that, yes, there was an issue. It's going to be rectified, X and X. There are instances where customers may not be pleased with the result, and they do have that option to come to the commission itself to make a if you want to call it a claim to the commission, to have the matter resolved at a higher level. But this is basically the steps that needs to be followed for people who have issues. But again, we emphasize, sorry, I put emphasis that it must be that you have gone through all the channels with GrenLec and you don't just come to us.
Okay. What are some of the challenges that you encounter? We know sometimes Grenadians, or some of us, can end up being very emotional when it comes to certain things. And when we get emotional, it's like we just don't want to hear. What are some of the challenges that you encounter when you have complaints?
Well, to be honest, since we've been in operation, we've had not many complaints on file. But as the public gets to know more about PERC's existence, the number of claims come in. You would have some people who are, as you say, emotional because the issue means a lot to them, and you have to break it down to them to get one exactly what is the complaint that they have. So you need to make it be logical, and it is not just a matter of, oh, well, this affects me and I'm all emotional about it, because ultimately you have to provide data as to exactly what the complaint is. And the complaint must be on the basis that has sufficient data that we can go to GrenLec. So it is not just your feeling. If you feel that you've been overcharged, what were your bills before? What were the averages before? What's your meter reading? So there is data that must be collected to sufficiently justify your complaint, that it doesn't appear to be frivolous, that it doesn't appear that it is just emotional.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I know before, when we started the chat, you spoke about renewable energy, something that we've been hearing time and time again. And one might ask, renewable energy and the PURC, what's their role really? What's the PURC's role as it relates to renewable energy?
The Act, the amended Electricity Act, actually speaks to our role and function in terms of renewable energy. We are mandated by the PURC to educate and promote the use of renewable sources of energy. And under that, it means that we facilitate Grenadians getting into solar systems. So if you wish to have a system, you need to come to the PURC to register your systems. We have two programs in the renewable energy. We have the self-generating system, where just like you or me, we can have our own self-generation system. You have a couple panels on your house and you generate electricity just for your consumption, or you have the option of generating electricity where you sell the excess to GrenLec. A lot of people are not aware of that. That is a sort of investment for the average household owner, because you're passively getting income from GrenLec. Because just think about, the sun is shining, you have a lot of energy being generated by your solar panels, and what do you do with the excess? No, you have a chance of using your excess, using what is generated by your system, and that excess GrenLec pays you for it, and you don't have to do anything about that. You also have the program with the independent power producers, and that is for the people who have a little bit more money to invest, where they just generate electricity solely for the purpose of selling to Grenlec. So we do have these two programs, and people need to come in. They would need to apply for a permit, especially for where you have connection to Grenlec's grid. You would definitely need to have agreement signed up with Grenlec. The minister would need to also sign up on the license to be given. The license are given for a period of 15 years, and it can be extended after that. But there are applications to be filled out, because you could imagine it's a process. And we also would like for people to, when they're getting into that system, that is not that you're going to invest, because it is costly, and we don't want people to make bad investments. So it will be good where people are able to record. And interestingly, a lot of people also think that, okay, because I set up my system before, I don't need to have my system registered at the PURC. No, we still need to record your information, because remember, we are speaking green energy on a national level. Grenada has committed to reducing our carbon footprint by X by 2030. And it's what we would need overall is to be able to give data as in what is the amount of energy, green energy, that Grenada is producing as a country. So we know, okay, are we close to our target in terms of reducing our carbon footprint? How much actual renewable energy are we able to produce as a country? So we do need to collect that data, whether or not your system was set up before, whether or not you have a system that is not connected to the grid, that means you're just generating electricity and consuming it. We still need to capture that information from you. So we are I'm encouraging Canadians from now, if you already had your system, please give us a call so that we can record the data. It's just $50 for the actual registration. So it's not expensive, but we do still need to capture that information so that we can provide to government to help them guide in policies.
Okay. Well, I'm actually learning, because I used to wonder, what does the PRC do? What do they actually do? But now that I'm getting all this information, now I have a greater appreciation for the PRC. Now, in terms of people wanting to know where to find you, where the PRC is located, contact numbers, etc.
The commission is located right by the stadium between Grenlec's generation plant and Spice Gas. We're very easy to find. The office number is 437-1602. The public can visit our website, www.purc.gd, where you get a wealth of information, especially on our renewable programs. You can see the forms to get a bit of information as in exactly what information the form requires if you're thinking of getting into renewable energy. We have myself, Alicia Mason, or you could always get me at the commission on the number I just gave, 437-1602. But we are here to provide information to the public. We're here to help the public. It's about protecting consumers' interests, especially under the electricity sector. And we are inviting people who may have issues, or again, if they wish to get into renewable energy, to give us a call so we could help them to know what is the process, what is required, what they need to do.
All right, excellent. Any other elements of the PRC you wish to tap into before we say goodbye?
I would just like to put out there that as we go green, we need to think that it's not just the here today. We need to put measures in place to make it the world, Grenada, a better place in terms of reducing our carbon footprint. It would be a great idea for financial institutions to come on board and consider having special incentive packages for their clients or customers, which can encourage the greater onboarding of Grenadians getting into solar systems, solar energy, because it is so expensive. It is sort of like a deterrent to people getting on board. So it will be really good if financial institutions consider that, because ultimately it is not just about our immediate future. As we said, it is about what we're looking to have and to for extended period of years.
All right. Excellent. We want to say a very special thank you for taking the time to come and share the information about the PURC with us, which is very good information. I'm sure by now our listening audience is probably captivated, like, okay, I can go make complaints. All right. So we want to say a very, very special thank you for taking the time, and I'm sure we'll be knocking heads again in the not too distant future.
I look forward to it. Thanks again, Kishan, and I trust that Grenadians will be a little bit more informed now of the PURC and reach out to us. Again, we can be reached on 437-1602. And we're looking forward to hearing from you.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks.
All right, so that's Tia Mason, the Consumer and Public Affairs Officer at the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission, telling us about the PURC, what's their role and function, what they do. So now that you know you have a platform where you can go to file your complaints, you know, not just because you wake up one morning and you say, well, okay, you know, I think my bill is high. It doesn't work like that, right? So you want to make sure if you want to get into renewable energy, you can check them out. Yep, they're very easy to find. You just go on down. You know, if you go to the back of the stadium and so on, you will see their office right there, so you can go and check them out, right? Before we take our next guest, I would just like to tell you that the Grenada Electricity Services Limited, along with other partners, are currently preparing to host the 2023 GrenLec debates. And if you would have remembered, you know, these GrenLec debates where you have the various secondary schools, you know, debating among themselves and so on, right? A national project, the GrenLec debates are instrumental in bringing together schools, the educators, the public and private sector, the general public, and the media. In fact, the involvement of all these partners is what has ensured the success of this program over the years. Open to every secondary school in Grenada and Carriacou, the debates are an important arena for students, all right, as participation in the exercise broadens their knowledge and hones their teamwork, research, and organizational skills. After a four-year break, the debates will resume in the next school term. So the next school term is in September. And remember, it was COVID, but long before COVID, you know, they took a break. So now we see the return of the GrenLec school debates. So you can look out for that, right? Also, we want to feature our J.W. Fletcher, Mr. and Mrs. Queens and Kings, right? The show is going to be held on the 7th of July, which is next Friday at the GBSS Auditorium, and we have been featuring some of the participants. So we'll take a look at the King and Queen feature for today, Thursday, the J.W. Fletcher, Mr. and Mrs. pageant.
It's that time again for partying. Start the thing, give me the leeway. Back and I'll start on the freeway. I'm feeling as if it's my B-day. Very unhealthy vibes and come alive.
I am 14-year-old John Hassett. I live in Windsor Forest, St. David. My hobbies are playing the steel pan, going to the beach, and making graphic designs. I decided to take part in this pageant because I want to boost my confidence. I encourage you to come out on July 7th at the GBSS Auditorium as my fellow contestants and I amaze you. I'd like to say thank you to Glam Goddess for sponsoring my evening wear.
I am 14-year-old Denaya Scott. I am currently at the Form 2 level attending the J.W. Fletcher Catholic Secondary School. I live in Dabo, St. George's, and my hobbies include singing and drawing. I decided to take part in this pageant to portray my creativity and talent. On the night of the pageant, you can expect me to amaze you with my talent and creativity. The category I look forward to the most is my evening wear, whereas it's something that I will wear to express myself. On July 7th, in the GBSS Auditorium, I advise you to come and support me as I portray my talent and shock you with my creativity along with my fellow contestants.
Motivation, all of us need it. We check, who can, you will feel it. Rhythm up, imagine a life without music. How will you feel? Man, just like a fish.
All right, so these were two of the contestants vying for the Mr. and Mrs. J.W. Fletcher pageant that is going to be taking place on the 7th of July at the GBSS Auditorium. So you can go out and support them. In case you're looking for tickets, you can visit the school, or of course, if you don't make it to the school, when you get to the auditorium, of course, you'll be able to get your tickets there. So remember, you go and support the young ones. They're celebrating. So they decided that, hey, we're going to put on a Queen show and feature the talents of the students. So make sure to put in the dates in your calendar. July 7th, next Friday, you're going to head down to the GBSS Auditorium. All right, so now we want to talk Spice Mass. We know Spice Mass is right around the corner. Yep, before you wink your eye, well, not now. Before you wink your eye, it's going to be Spice Mass. And a time and a summertime that we always want to enjoy. But of course, there's a lot of things that happens behind the scenes and so on and so forth. So this morning, we're going to speak into the Public Relations Officer, Kinder Peer of the Spice Mass Corporation, to find out what has been happening in their neck of the woods behind the scenes preparation for Spice Mass. Good morning to you.
Hi, Kishan. Good morning. How are you?
I'm good, but you need to switch your video on so I can see how beautiful you look this morning. It's a lovely day, so I'm sure the public will want to see that level of beauty that you're going to bring for us this morning.
I know I'm up and ready and fresh face looking, but my system doesn't want to seem to cooperate with me. Just give me 10 seconds, okay?
All right. Okay. All right. So while we give our Spice Mass Corporation PRO some time to level up and so on, just to remind you that this is going to be our final Rise and Shine for this particular season. We're heading into Carnival. So as of July 1st, it's going to be strictly all Carnival-related programming. So don't be afraid when I said it's the final. We ain't going nowhere. We're just facilitating the Carnival season. We'll be back with you after Carnival with a level of freshness. Okay, so we're not going anywhere. We're just saying that we want to bring all the nice coverage of Carnival. So we're going to take a break from Rise and Shine. But of course, when you turn on your TV on Tuesday and Thursday morning, I'm sure you will be seeing things Carnival-related. So we're not leaving you in limbo, okay? We're not going and say, well, we just leave you. You're going to be there still, but we're just going to be sharing Carnival-related stuff with you, right? And remember also, on Tuesday, I gave you a little tease, right? So as of July 1st as well, but we could say officially July 3rd, if you're accustomed with magic, there'll be no more magic, right? We want when you wake up on July 1st, and you switch on your radio, you would hear the difference, you would feel the difference, and of course, and when it comes to Monday, the 3rd of July, you're going to know exactly where magic would have evaporated from. But sometimes change is good. I don't like to use the word transformation because sometimes it makes me feel like a politician. But nonetheless, we have to use it in this neck of the woods, that we have to transform. So magic is going to be transformed into something even more unique and even more bursting with a lot of energy. So you have to stick and stay, don't go anywhere. There'll be a lot of surprises, loads of them. So I just give you a little tease as to what you can expect. So all now, it's tweaking time, making changes. So from time to time, if you're listening and you're hearing all different types of things, that's where the tweaking comes in. Yep, we're going to have to tweak and make sure that, we get it right. Well, I'm saying we, not me, because I don't know about that. But, right, and of course, MTV going to be bringing it for you, all the Carnival-related action. So you got to make sure that you stick and stay to get all the vibe. And let me just remind you as well that the staff of the Grenada Informer is going to be having a barbecue luncheon tomorrow at the MTV car park. So you want to, if you're passing through and so on, you could pass through and support. There'll be drinks on sale, and it's all in aid to assist one of their colleagues. Well, that's one of my colleagues too, because it's, one company, just different names. So to assist one of our colleagues to get some medical procedures done. So if you're passing along the way and you see us on the outside, then you could stop and by and support. Or you could always call if you're at your office and you think you don't want to move. Yeah, I think they probably have some delivery service. But if they don't, just tell them Kishon say, and then they will bring it for you. My name have a little bit of weight sometimes. So you can come on by, you can meet the people on it, that writes in the newspaper, the editors and the reporters and so on. And you could take a nice little hangout with us. So that's tomorrow, and they start at 12 p.m., right? Yeah, not 12 midnight, 12 p.m. So you can come out and you could give them that level of support. While we go back and check in on our Spice Mass Pre-Hour, but before we do that, let's take a quick break, and then that will give us a chance to check in our Spice Mass Pre-Hour, make sure she's okay on the other side, and then we'll come back.
Refer a friend and get $50 cash back for you and $50 cash back for your friend on loans of $3,000 and over at Courts Ready Cash. Plus, you get flexible payment terms, hassle-free service, and fast approval. All you need is your ID, proof of address, payslip, job letter, and 2 references. Apply now. Visit shopcourts.com. The more friends you refer, the more cash back. What are you waiting for? Make every moment count with a loan from Courts Ready Cash. We are ready when you are. Conditions apply.
GRENLEC Community Partnership Initiative.
We applied to GRENLEC for the construction of a new library at Dover Government School. We've given them a library space that is comfortable, that is homey, that has customized furniture, outfitted for a child who really wants to enjoy reading. I want to thank the Grenada Electricity Services. We could not have done it without you, and we look forward to continued partnership into the future.
GRENLEC, energizing our community.
Promoters, here is a chance to boost your event or fete with MTV's irresistible television advertising specials. Book now and be wowed with party deals and good advertising coverage. Call our sales and marketing department on 440-8171 or via WhatsApp on 455-5718. You can also send an email at mtvmarketinggd@gmail.com. Terms and conditions apply.
Rise and shine.
All right, welcome back. This is Rise and Shine. We're live on MTV. Also on, okay, well, I could say the name now. I was just told I could say the name because, you know, the change has already been done. The transformation was done. So officially, Magic is no more, and it is now Fusion 88.9. So it's no more Magic, but it's Fusion 88.9. You can check them out also on their new website, is 889.com. Yep, so you could go and you could listen them out. I'm telling you, it's no longer Magic, but it's now Fusion FM 88.9, and you can check them out on their website. That is 889.com. You can listen to them there. As I said, you know, the tweaking is still taking place, so from time to time, you're going to hear it. But officially, from the 1st of July, it's going to be a complete carnival switch for both Fusion and MTV as well, so you want to keep it locked on. So, we want to find out what's happening on the people responsible for Carnival, and no other than Spice Mass Corporation. They have a huge task before them in ensuring that Grenada's biggest summer festival is on point, and that August is going to be one of the best time on the planet. So with me, I have Kinder Pierce. She is the Public Relations Officer for Spice Mass Corporation. Good morning to you.
Hi, Kishan. Good morning. Apologies for my earlier technical difficulties.
Don't worry. You know, sometimes when you're that beautiful, even the computer doesn't even want to show it off. So at least you're here and you're live in living color. So
yes, I'm here.
Excellent. All right. Spice Mass is just around the corner. Before we blink twice, it's going to be here. Tell us exactly how is preparation for the festival going?
Oh my God, preparation has been crazy. It has been crazy because, as you know, this is our full carnival coming out of COVID. I mean, last year was just basically us dipping our feet back in the water, and everything would have started a bit late given the prior COVID restrictions we would have had. But this year, it's full steam ahead. As you know, we're working with the theme, the evolution, and it's basically the start of continuing to grow in Spice Mass. Even though we said that this year the evolution starts, it's just going to only get bigger and better. Preparation has been good so far. Everybody in every sector, persons at the Spice Mass office, my team, myself, all of the stakeholders, the persons that are in the competitions for soca, groovy, calypso, even the Queen Show contestants, everybody has been working hard, doing the best that they can to ensure that we deliver our product, which is Spice Mass.
All right. This is, as you mentioned, our first official carnival.
Yeah.
Last year it was just basically a reintroduction to see whether or not we still have it. But now
Yes.
as you said, we're back in it. What are some of the challenges that presents itself for the corporation?
I would say, it has its ups and downs, to be honest, just like everything. When you're preparing for things, because we're so involved in wanting to make sure that we deliver a good product. When it comes to challenges, minor stuff, we're taking care of it. But, we just want to ensure that we get the public support. That's one of our main things. So I think that would say technically our challenge, but I think once they see what we have in store for them, they're going to get on board. We have the power preliminary starting next week, and persons are excited for that. So I think once we start rolling out the events that are on the Spice Mass calendar, which begins on July 6th, we would start seeing, the patron support.
Okay. There seems to be a lot of energy as it relates to the calypso and soca and the groovy
Yes.
because of the
Yes.
increase in prize monies. What's the response like? What are some of the feedback the corporation been getting where that is concerned?
I mean, as you mentioned, there has been a lot of, increase in energy. Of course, the artists, they would have asked and, would have requested and, put their cards on the table in terms of wanting the price increase. And I think that the corporation, would have sat down and worked with everybody to ensure that we deliver. So now that the prices have increased for not just the Power Soca Monarch, but also for the Groovy and the Calypso, it's boosting their need to be a part of the competition, because you have a bigger incentives. But there are persons who also just love what they do, love the craft, and just love Spice Mass, that they just want to be in competition. We have so much persons entering the preliminaries this year. I'm telling you, sign up has been crazy. I have no idea how they would have finalized the numbers, but I know the judging. I'm praying for the judging because the competition is going to be tough.
All right. Any other elements of Spice Mass Corporation or Carnival that the Spice Mass Corporation would like the public to be aware of?
I mean, of course, as everybody would have seen how this year we have been emphasizing on, just delivering a different product for the National Queen Show pageant. I think we have kicked off, we have launched the Queen Show, and we've been announcing the girls from since April. They have been making their rounds, throughout their communities, throughout the public, in terms of getting their name out there, so that everybody knows who's representing their parish. So I think definitely Queen Show is something that everybody's looking forward to, and the girls are working extremely hard. And of course, one of their projects that they're working on, we have a pageant with them on Sunday, July 2nd. It's called Sparkle. It's being held at the Hideaway Rooftop at True Blue. Tickets are only $100. So come out and see the 7 contestants for the National Queen Show showcase their fashion style. They have been learning a lot about themselves and a lot about just growing as a young woman in society while preparing for this pageant. So the pageant was definitely going to give you just a little taste of what to come on the main stage for the National Queen Show.
Okay. Were there any new elements added to the Carnival platform this year to attract additional attention?
Well, I think every part of the competitions that are happening, every part of the lineup that we have for all the events, each of them have their own unique element that was added. Of course, this year we're going to be back re-emphasizing on the traditional mass. As you know, traditional mass definitely separates Spice Mass Carnival, our carnival, from a lot of the other islands. We have seen that, a lot of the other islands are trying to introduce that traditional mass in their product, but it's originally from Grenada. So definitely we're going to be, just re-emphasizing, reintroducing persons back to the traditional mass festival, the traditional mass on Juve morning, you have the old mass and so forth. So we're definitely putting a lot into that as well to make sure that we're focusing on that and nothing gets slipped through the crack.
Okay. You're trying to get the public buy-in into all of this. What sort of mechanism or strategies that the Spice Mass Corporation is going to be utilizing in trying to get, the buy-in from the public? Although Carnival, you can say, is something that's practically automatic. But is there any new...
practically sells itself, yeah. I mean, we have been making it easier for persons with the ticketing system in terms of they can purchase, season pass, which is available right now on gotofed.com. They can purchase season pass for all of the upcoming events so that there isn't a struggle, there isn't a worry. They just purchase a pass and they know that, okay, this is the amount of events that they can attend and they have their tickets in advance. So I think that has been a help in terms of, keep on waiting for when this event happens, this ticket drops and so forth. So they can actually, get that into one. And I must say, all of the products that are on the Spice Mass, from Calypso, Soca, Power, Queen Show, everything, they all have their own fans, their own crowd, they have their own patrons and supporters, and nobody's going to be disappointed. I can promise you that.
Okay. I'm glad you mentioned the ticket element. Something that I've seen it, but maybe didn't pay attention to it, is that you had an early start as it relates to tickets being available.
Yes.
How is that actually going in terms of responses? Are people taking the opportunity to get their tickets early?
I would honestly say that it has been going good, especially for, getting a lot of persons into the online ticketing platform, getting them to use that service, because tickets has been on there for, I want to believe, over a month or 2 months now. We would have physical tickets available, of course, at the outlets. Grenadian Optical would be one of them. But I must say that the public has been, gravitating towards the online platform and making sure that they purchase their early bird tickets for all of the events using the GoToFed platform. So it has been a good response so far.
All right. Before we wrap it up, any other elements that you think that is of importance to the public that you would like to share?
Of course. We cannot forget that starting on July 6th and 9th, we have the Power Preliminaries. And of course, the first 2 days, which is July 6th and 7th, is going to be held at the Las Ages Hardcourt. July 8th will be Cuthbert Peters Park, and July 9th will be Boss Yard. Starting time for all of the competition would be 7 p.m. Tickets is only $15, so you guys have to get there early. And from the preliminaries for Soca, we're going to have 11 artists. From 30, we're going to have 11 artists heading over to the semis. So you guys have to be there. There's a lot of competition in store. And I mean, of course, even though we have to narrow down the persons that are entering the finals, I do think that a lot of the artists are coming out there and giving it their best, whether it's the new artists, whether the veterans in the business. So you have a lot in store to look forward to when it comes to the new upcoming artists as well as the veterans.
All right. Excellent stuff. All right, we want to say a very special thank you for taking the time out this morning to tell us what's happening behind the scenes. Of course, we always appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
All right. You have yourself a wonderful day now.
Thank you, and thank you for listening, guys. Have a fantastic Thursday.
Okay, excellent. That was Kinder Peer. She's the Public Relations Officer for Spice Mass Corporation, putting us or giving us in the know as it relates to what's happening behind the scenes. Carnival is something that's automatic. People tend to gravitate. We tend to look very laid back for now, but then when it gets closer and closer, we tend to get into all the energy that goes into Spice Mass. But whatever you do, we want to make sure that you do it safe. We've never had any major incidences. And remember, this is our, what you could call, first official carnival outside of COVID. Last year, 2022, we were just stepping out of the zone and testing the waters again to seeing all the restrictions and so on, because COVID brought about so many different changes. So we wanted to make sure that, okay, what sort of leap of faith do we take? But this year, you know, there is none of that. There is still COVID amongst us, but there is none of that, so you expect that high level of energy. A lot would be happening and so on. So whatever you're going to be doing, we want you to participate in all the events, you know, whether it's Calypso, Soca, Queen, whatever it is. Go out and support. If you support, you're supporting our very own. Yep. And you do that, make sure it's safe. Don't drink and drive. Don't go into people's event and behave bad and all these things. We don't want that. We don't want to spoil the things now. And remember, this Sunday is going to be Sparkle. That's the fashion show. And you would go there at the Hideaway Rooftop down in True Blue. You're going to get to see the National Carnival Queens doing their thing. Yep, so you can go and support them. Remember, it's Sunday at Hideaway Rooftop down in True Blue. Sparkle, the fashion show. Right, that's all the time that we have with you for today. Remember, we are going to be off. There'll be no Rise and Shine next week. We're going to be taking a carnival break, but of course we're going to be sharing all the carnival related stuff with you. So you have to remember your stick and stay. There'll be a lot of giveaways, so you never know. You might just be lucky, you might get a ticket or two. So you have to make sure that you stay with us. Don't go anywhere. You have to be that loyal viewer and listener. And remember, if you're listening to us now, you're now listening to Fusion 88.9. So when you're tuning and you hear the change of name and you say, but where did magic go? Yeah, we created the magic to make another magic, right? But this magic is called Fusion. If you want to check them out online, you can check them out at 889.com. And they will be filled with a lot of energy as well. But that's all the time we have with you for today. And before we go, there are some people, before they tell me that, oh, that doesn't follow instructions, right? I want to say a very special good morning to Purple Hat, Mr. Randy Coutain, you and your team. We say good morning to you. You always tune in, so we want you to have a good day, a good weekend when it comes, and a good holiday. Remember, next week, it's a holiday, July 4th. You know, it's another day for you to relax and probably go out and do whatever you want to do. So Purple Heart, you and your team, we say good morning to you. And we also want to say good morning to Miss Bain out there, you and the Little House and the Perry crew. All they make him do all kind of thing on the People Show for the last time. But nonetheless, Miss Bain, you and your Little House and the Perry crew, we say good morning to you. You're always locked on the Facebook or social media platform. We say good morning to you. And Miss Pixie Ann out of Trinidad and Tobago, you're visiting. We say we hope you enjoyed your stay. And good morning to you as well. You're enjoying your final day in the Spice, and we hope that you will return for Carnival. But again, good morning to all our viewers and our friends. That's where we say goodbye for now. On behalf of the rest of the technical team, I'm Kishon Thomas. Have a good one.
Rise and shine.